Hello, excuse me, this is Jacob Crane, and in this video I am going to be discussing my guiding principles with you. My first one is going to be seek God in all things first. Personally, with me, I've been on a journey to strengthen my faith, to grow in faith, and to get closer to our Creator. That's just my own personal beliefs, that's my own personal devotion. For myself, I think that God is real. Personally, I know that He is. And with that, I want to truly get close to Him through my faith, through prayer, through my acts of service, which I'll get into later, and through my deeds. With this, for myself at least, through my own readings, through my own research, I've found that people who live in a Christ-focused, Christ-centered lifestyle, good things tend to come to them. Now, that's not saying that it's a guarantee or that it'll happen the way that you expect it, but it is said in the Bible that if you trust God, if you have Jesus in your heart, and if you truly put Him first in all things, good things will come to you in this lifetime or the next. And I think that's a very important thing for me to note, because when I first started my journey coming to Christ, coming to faith, I expected things to kind of happen in my life the way that I thought they should happen or they should work out. And that's clearly not the case. That's clearly not how it was written out. But it is promised that in this lifetime or next, in eternity with Christ, you will be rewarded for what you do here on earth. I think this is just a really good opening principle and a guideline for how I want to live my life. The next principle I would like to note is to pursue excellence, not perfection. For myself, at least, I have very high expectations for who I want to become, what I want to do, how I want to act, how I want to behave, and oftentimes I fall short of that just for the sole reason, sole purpose of I want myself to be perfect. Again, this isn't perfect in the sense of I'm better than you, I'm better than anybody else. It kind of just ties into my mistakes in my past. I've definitely lived a life where I just choose bad things, make bad decisions, and from that growth that I've already had, I expect myself to be perfect in my decision making, in my life, to not fall down that road. And I have such an ideology where I need to be perfect in those decision makings that when I do inevitably mess up, I just destroy myself mentally about it. So to truly disregard that previous style of thinking and strive not for perfection but for excellence would help me not beat myself up internally about mistakes that I will inevitably make, because as human we are built with error and mistakes will happen in our lives, whether it be through work, whether it be through personal convictions, whatever it might be. You're bound to mess up at some point. Being able to just simply realize that and move on and not just dwell in that failure is a thing that I'm trying to personally get better about. A lot of these will tie into my personal development plan, but I think that's a really important guiding principle for myself that I'm trying to get better at. Another guiding principle that I would like to start doing, or at least doing more, is to practice humility and being grateful. Again, ties into my personal development plan, I know, but I think that's a really important thing for humans to live by. Being humble, practicing humility, being grateful for things. If people could truly just live that out in their day-to-day lives, I think there would be a lot less hate, a lot less sadness, and a lot less depression in everybody's lives. Waking up and being grateful that you were able to wake up and you have a whole day ahead of you of making decisions, whether it's good or bad, you have a day, Being grateful for that alone, I think, can help people truly find their happiness, find their joy, true joy, not just from substances, not from anything else, but just knowing that, hey, I'm grateful to be alive, I'm grateful to be here today, I'm grateful to be sitting here talking to you. Simple things like that can truly spark a light in people, and I'm trying to be better about living that out myself. Another guiding principle that I've recently come to hold close to myself is serving others selflessly, or diligently, whichever one you kind of want to choose. This kind of comes from me recently serving in my church. It was, of course, unpaid, and just serving others, serving the community. I truly felt at peace while doing this. I truly felt joy and just excitement, you know. As I've discussed earlier, like I've had a lot of things happen to me this semester that has brought me down and has brought me into a trap of self-hatred and doubt and everything. And I've noticed that when I truly serve without the expectation of a reward or without the expectation of somebody else doing that for me, just selflessly serving, I've noticed that I find internal joy from that. And I think that's something that I want to truly hold close to myself as a guiding principle, and to explore that more and to truly make that an important goal and attribute in my life. Another principle that I want to do is to confess and grow from mistakes. I've talked about it a lot in this video. I talked about it a lot in my personal development plan. But again, yeah, I have a mentality of living in my past. I have a mentality of just dwelling in my mistakes and not moving on, and just trapping myself in that mindset of self-doubt, self-hatred, everything like that. And of course, it's easier said than done, but I think this video will help. I think the personal development plan that I made will help. Journaling, of course, will help. But I think that's a very important guiding principle for myself, because clearly from my past and from other areas of my thought process, I have fallen into the trap where I'm not able to move on from past mistakes, and I just dwell on them. So having that be my guiding principle and truly living like that is going to benefit me in so many ways. Excuse me. And then my final principle would be to discipline my mind and body. I like fitness. I like to work out. I like to be healthy. Part of this is just because it makes me feel good. But as I'm growing, as I'm getting older, I want to truly be healthy for my future kids, so I'm not shackled by health problems caused by my inability to be healthy today. More importantly is to discipline my mind. That kind of ties into all the things I just said previously, where I don't want to be shackled by past mistakes. I want to be able to move on. I want to truly, work on my mind and my thoughts, being mindful of my emotions, stuff that we talked about in class. Again, a lot of this will happen through journaling. A lot of this will happen through just internalizing my thoughts, my decision-making process, everything like that throughout the day. But I think these are very important guiding principles to me, and I truly want to have these be like the most important aspects of how I want to carry out my day. I think with that, I will write this down in my journal, and I can kind of open up. It'll be on the first page. And it's like, this is what you have to do throughout the day to be the person that you want to become. And again, after journaling, I can go back and check off being like, I did this one right, or I could have done better on this, or this needs a little bit more work. I think that's the best plan of action for me to truly apply these to my lives and make it have the effect that I want it to have. So that's all I have for you. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed.